Hi, I'm Demetria, and you're listening to Soul Podcasting. This is a podcast where I share weekly insights and advice and support for new and veteran podcasters. And so I'm your Impact Podcast Coach, and I'm here to inspire and motivate you to launch and grow your podcast and make an impact in your communities. And I'm glad to have you. So I thought I would try something a little bit different on this particular episode. I want to see if I can record this by video as well as audio and see how that goes for this episode. All my other episodes for this podcast are only audio format. So this one I'm going to try to do video and see how it works. So you're listening to episode number 7. The name of this episode is What is Soul Podcasting? Now, I've talked about what podcasting is in previous episodes, but on this particular one, I thought it would be important to talk about what I feel like the concept of soul podcasting is. I named my podcast Soul Podcasting. I named my framework Soul Podcasting. And there's a reason why I put the word soul in it. So I wanted to discuss that on this episode, so you guys know where I'm coming from and what this whole thing is all about. So soul podcasting for me has 5 main tenets and components, and we're going to talk about what those are. Before I get started, I want to make sure that you know about my website. If you are interested in coaching, in podcast coaching, I would love for you to visit me at impactpodcastcoach.com. So I just wanted to plug that before I get started in case you're thinking about getting some coaching for starting your own podcast or launching and leveraging your current podcast. Okay, so the 5 tenets that I believe are a part of what soul podcasting is. The first is podcasting with purpose. And that's when you're discovering what is your mission. What is the main reason you're seeking to start your podcast? What do you hope to accomplish with your podcast? So looking at the purpose of why you're getting started is going to help you keep going when the days are tough, because podcasting is not an easy feat. It is not for the faint of heart. There are many of us out here who are doing it, but it takes work and it takes commitment to keep a podcast going. So knowing your purpose is going to help you be sustained when you want to give up. Secondly, it's all about sharing your truth. What is your truth? Who are you trying to reach and why? So when you know what your message is that you believe either God gave you or that is just something burning in your heart that you just have to share about it, this is your authentic truth. And I like speaking to women entrepreneurs about sharing your truth. And I like to unleash that boldness inside of you that's there and give you that freedom in your mind and in your heart to just do big things. And so sharing your truth means being authentic with yourself and with the world, showing up exactly as who you are and not feeling like you have to be someone else or pretend to be something you're not. You just show up in your true self and you bring your personal flavor, you bring your flair to the table, and you let that be what it is. And so sharing your truth could mean reaching back into your past and sharing something that's painful to your audience in order to help them overcome something. So it could mean a lot of things, right? It could mean sharing something really hard, or it could mean sharing your truth as in where you are today, how you survived, where you're going, and how you're going to progress from here on out. A podcast can be a way to heal people that have gone through or are currently going through what you've been through in your life. So you can make a tremendous difference in someone's life by being their lifeline, by being the one that they look to say, if she can make it, if she can get through it, then I can too. The third part of soul podcasting from your soul, is delivering your message. So what is the main core of your message? You have to figure that out before you start a podcast. You don't just want to, start something that you're not passionate about. When you have a message that resonates in your spirit, resonates in your heart, and you know this is something you have to talk about, then this is going to be something that lasts a long time. Of all the podcasts I've begun, the ones that have lasted the longest are the ones that I was currently in that situation for a long time or in that particular place in life. For example, my homeschool podcast has been around for over 10 years because I homeschooled for that long. That was a part of my life that was just ongoing. And I knew that being steeped in the world of home education meant that having a homeschool podcast was going to be helpful to so many people who were in the same boat that I was in, but also it would be therapeutic for me. So podcasting is also therapy. Think about that. And now the podcasts that I run are about business because that's what I'm doing in my life right now. So it means so much to me to help women who are also in this same position. So understanding the core of your message, what it is you're actually trying to deliver to your audience is going to make a huge difference. So you have to have an underlying core message. What are you trying to convey to your audience? Is it hope? Is it peace? Is it excitement about something? Is it just the idea that you have something in common with your listeners? What is it you want to convey to them? And that's going to establish kind of the path that your podcast takes. Fourthly, podcasting with passion. I kind of already mentioned that, but when you are passionate about what you're talking about, it's going to show. People are going to feel it. And when you love what you talk about, you love what you do, you love what you bring to the table, your listeners understand that, they get it, they feel it, and they're right there with you. So if they want to hear that kind of content that you're providing because you're passionate about it, they're going to listen to you. And fifthly, soul podcasting is about sharing your message until the mission is complete. So once that mission is over in your life, you can shut it down. It's fine to pod fade if you need to, because sometimes we're not in that same place in life anymore where that podcast is relevant any longer. So it's okay to move forward. But until that point, until that place in your life where that mission is complete, you continue to be consistent. So you want to bring value. You want to show up, you want to be consistent, and you don't want to backtrack. So you keep moving forward a little bit at a time every single week. So it could be one podcast episode a week. Maybe you're choosing to podcast once every 2 weeks. Maybe you're choosing to unleash an episode once a month. So you want to choose the amount of time, the rate at which you're most comfortable producing these shows. It does take a lot of work to go in and edit them and to produce them. You can have help. You can get help, get a VA, get someone that's a podcast editor to help you do that. But if you're doing everything yourself, then it is a lot of work. And so you want to make sure that you take the time needed in between shows to rest up for the next show, especially if you're doing a lot of the legwork yourself. But those are my key points for what it means to podcast from your soul. That's my idea of soul podcasting. This is kind of my idea that came to my heart once. And I said, you know what, I need to go ahead and purchase this domain name and figure this out because the word soul podcasting kept coming to me. And so I just wanted to make sure that in all that I do at Impact Podcast Coach, that I'm helping you to make an impact through podcasting. And I'm doing that by showing you how to create a soul aligned or heart aligned podcast, something that resonates with your soul, what you're trying to bring to the table, what your mission is in this world, what God has given you, that core message that God has given you to share. I want you to tap into the power of podcasting. So if you're watching the video right now, and you can see me on YouTube because some of you are listening on iTunes, but if you're actually watching this on YouTube, I am showing my Blue Yeti mic that I talked about a couple of videos back. And I finally got the mic cover just for this. And I really like this one. So you guys let me know what you think about this mic cover, but I think it's really cute. So it's a little black kind of fuzzy cover, and I'm really liking this microphone. I love the quality, the crispness of the audio, and so it's a little bit different than my Shure SM58, but I really like this. It's kind of light and airy and breezy, so very nice. It picks up on a lot of the sounds in the room, so I do have to be a little bit careful about that and make sure that I'm in a really quiet environment, but otherwise it's a really, really good microphone. So if you want to pick up this microphone, I will have a link in the show notes and also in the description of my YouTube video. So you can pick up that. And I believe it's my affiliate link. So any sales I make will give me a little affiliate commission that will help towards the forming of this show, that will go back into creating the show. So all the equipment, all the tools, all the time, and all the resources it takes to create these shows, I will use that affiliate money to help me towards that. So I appreciate it if you want to go ahead and make this purchase, and it will help me out and help out the show, Soul Podcasting. And I'll be back soon with more content about creating podcasts. And until then, happy podcasting.